Good morning, guys. MWUSA Season 4, Episode 76. I am on my way for the day, 6 a.m. I actually may have left home a little too early today because I need to check in at work to show that I was there. And so I'm going to the office first, and hopefully not too early, because if I'm there too early, I actually have to fill out paperwork why I'm there so early. So I may just wait around for a few minutes. So we're going to be signing in, and then we're going to be going to the desk, coming back down, going out, and that will show that we were at the office. And hopefully nobody of importance is there today, looking for us especially, or asking what day we worked as our third day, because we're not going to be there. Today's goal is we're going to be going to our first casino. We're going to be playing slots there, and then we're going to do a team meeting at that point. And once we finish that, we're going to move on to another slot casino, and then a third one, and then we're going to go play some blackjack. And I've heard some rumors about this blackjack place. It's actually one of my better performing casinos as far as win-loss ratio, but they've become sweatier and sweatier over time. And someone told me that they ID everyone. Now, I'm not positive about that, because he told me it was around 8:30 in the morning, and I already knew that they did ask for ID at night, so maybe he just got there early enough in the morning that they hadn't stopped asking for it. Hopefully that's the case, because otherwise I'll probably stop going there. And then depending on timing, which we should have time, I may play a couple more casinos, including another blackjack casino, before start heading toward home, and I'll hit 2 more casinos on the way home. So that's our goal right now. Very early right now, 52 degrees outside, and just getting moving here. Yesterday, decent day. Still feeling a little bit tired, probably because I thought about maybe I was sick, but truth is, I got off the plane from our trip and I had half a day, and then I've been going ever since. So hopefully tomorrow, being Saturday, will give me that break that I need, and I'll feel better on Sunday. So for now, gonna let you go. I'll be back to update you. Alright, guys, I am back, just leaving the office. Looking good, man. Everything looked good. And I got there. There was a security guard with his earbuds in, and nobody else around. And then when I was leaving, I came down the steps and out the front door. I heard someone coming in the front door, so I paused for a second, and it looked like it could have been someone from my team, which is very bad news. But I thought I would give it like a minute and then see if they were online. And I am looking, and the person I'm thinking about is not online, so that wasn't him. So I think I'm good. Plus, I saw there was only 2 new cars in the parking lot, and neither one of them seemed to be his. So I think I'm safe for the day here. So we're going to head out. First stop, slots only casino, and I'll be back to update you. Alright, guys, I am back. So going to that place, and it's deserted. They have been cracking down on advantage play, and it was deserted. So, and usually I'd see a couple people that I know at this time of day. Nobody. So, walking around, looking at stuff, I find a couple of plays, play those through, and immediately I'm up like 120, 130, somewhere in there. I'm happy. Walking around, find another one, lower limit one, play that one, and just get killed on that one unit-wise. And now I'm down, whatever, 750, 60, something like that. And then continue playing, find a few more plays, and that was really about it. Ended the session ahead $26. And then all the redemption kiosks were down. So there was one that was open by the cashier and then the cashier. And so there's a big line at this one kiosk, and not a big line, but there's a line. So I go over to the cashier, and I've got one ticket for like $126. Not a big deal. Takes him forever. Then he's like, hold on. Then he leaves, and he comes back. I'm like, dude, I thought it would be faster to come up here, but now it's faster just to use the machine. He's like, oh, okay, you can go use the machine. He's like, oh, someone was still signed into my system, and I had to sign him out. What? When you walk up to your computer in the morning and you take over for someone, you don't sign into it? It's speechless. The stupidity is ridiculous. So, anyway, I ended up cashing that out and headed to the car. Found a voucher out in the parking lot. Took that one, so that's good. Off to a slow start. So, I was just thinking last night, I was watching a show on TV before bed, and they kept putting these commercials on about these Morgan silver dollars. And I used to buy those things on eBay for nothing, like $20 and $22 and stuff. Those things have really skyrocketed in price with the price of gold and silver going up. And so I decided, I wanted to look at some of my stuff, quote stuff, just like a little kid. So I go to my safe and I get some of my silver out and start looking at it. And my son's like, Dad, can I have my stuff too? Because, I used to sit with the kids and they'd like my stuff, and I'd give them a little bit of different weird things that they'd never seen before. So he has all kinds of world coins, stuff that I don't even have, because what am I going to do with it, right? Long term, let them have it, let them enjoy it. So we were going through it, and some of that stuff was so tiny, like coins that are, a third smaller than a dime, with this tiny, tiny print on it. And he's like, Dad, where's this from? Dad, what's this? And I had to take pictures of them with my phone and then zoom in to be able to read them because they were so small. But we had a good time, and he likes the pressed pennies that when you go somewhere, you put a penny in and it puts some kind of image on it, smashes the penny, puts the image on it. And he's got a bunch of those, and he was really happy looking at those and remembering all the places that we had been together that he had gotten those from. So that was kind of fun. But anyway, right now, back to the job at hand. We're going to move on to the next casino. We got about another hour and 20 minutes before we get there. So we're going to relax a little bit, sign on to our work computer, and get ready for our work day. And I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am just leaving this next spot, getting ready for my meeting as well. I'll need to stop here pretty soon for my meeting. But I walked into this place and I was preoccupied with some other stuff going on my phone, markets and buying and all these different things at the same time. And so I had my nose in my phone half the time. I was walking around looking at things, but while I was playing them, I had my nose in my phone. And actually I had some people watching me play, and I'm like, I don't really care about that because what I'm doing here is more money. So anyway, I had $20 in free play in this place, which is nice because usually I have $0 or maybe $5. But I played the $20 through and never had to get cash out of pocket, and I actually ended up leaving ahead $135. So just with that little bit of free play that they gave me, I turned that into $135. Now, right now I'm going to need some fuel. Temperature outside is 52 degrees. The sun is out finally, and looks like a cloudy day. Could be more rain. I'm not sure. We've had so much rain lately, so much bad weather lately, but what are you going to do? Right now we're going to move on to another place that's very sweaty currently with slots, and the hub of the Chinese group that's in the area. So it'll be interesting to see how I'm treated and how many other people I see who know what they're doing in there, because I have a feeling it's going to be a very low number of people. So that's just my feeling, but we'll see what happens. Right now we're going to move on to the next spot. We're going to stop, we're going to do our meeting, and then I'll come back and let you know what's going on. Alright guys, I am back. Just leaving this place, a little frustrated. Our team meeting ran long, took forever. It was an hour-long meeting, and then ran long after that. And anyway, I was doing some other things online while we were in the meeting, and just got some weird stuff to happen. Ended up actually making a loss on that stuff. Then I went into this place. The only thing I was thinking was, let me get through the door, no problem. Then I know at least that part's okay. Got through the door, no issue, no one came up to me. I did see some random people though that were just aimlessly walking around, that were not in uniform, that made me concerned that maybe they're working for the casino. I only saw 2 Chinese people, a guy and a girl, and they were actually checking a machine at the time. But that's all I saw in there, and I saw like a overweight, younger white guy, and that's it. So it seems like things have been pared down. Maybe these guys are on thin ice too, and they'll be gone too. But there seems to be a big purge going on right now in this industry. So it doesn't hurt me as long as it doesn't hurt me, right? I mean, it's only a recession if you lose your job, right? And then it's a depression. So same thing. So hopefully I stay out of harm's way, and you do too. And we don't get kicked out of anywhere. We can continue to make money. So right now it is 55 degrees. It's light rain outside, and we're moving on to our next casino. Oh, I ended that session. I only had found, I think, 2 plays. Played those through and ended my session ahead 119. So plus 119. And then this place, a little bit late to the game, became the last place in the area to go to no change out of the kiosks. I don't know why they waited this long. Everyone else did it during COVID, but 5 years later, these people are doing no change. But of course, conveniently enough for you, you have some options. You have the option of, number 1, donating the money, or that would be right on the kiosk. Or number 2, on your way out, there's a box where you can donate the money. So, and the thing to remember is, the kiosks are on the way out of the building, right? So you're cashing out and then you're leaving. But if you want your change, the cashier is on the back wall of the casino. So your choices are, you give up your change, you take a voucher, or you walk all the way through the casino 2 more times. Once to get your little bit of change after standing in line at the cashier, and once to walk out of the casino. So yeah, that seems fair. It doesn't seem like there's any issues there. You know, it's like the people on the other side saying it's more convenient and this and that, they're the same people who will screw you over later on when they say, oh, we need more government regulations because that's more jobs for people. What? One way or another, all these things are designed to take your money. It's saving them money, it's taking your money. One way or another, something's going to happen here. It's not a benefit to you. They may not directly be taking the money, but they're donating the money. And who gets the write-off when they donate the money? Me? No, I don't think so. They do, right? So they're indirectly profiting from this. There you go. And any money that you don't cash, that expires, goes into some fund to help people who have a gambling problem or whatever. That's the way it works in this state. And that's just something that they do. It's not something that they care that much about. It's something that was in the legislation so that these places would pass. We care about people and all that kind of garbage. But anyway, continuing on here to the next casino, we're going to play some blackjack, and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, just got through a tremendous downpour, like you wouldn't even believe it. It was so bad, we were doing like 3 miles an hour, and you couldn't see the car in front of you. You basically had to stop. But right now I'm closing in on the exit of my next stop, and I'm considering, am I gonna drive off the road here? I'm so close. Traffic is backed up. Will I drive on the berm? Because the exit is like 1/10 of a mile away. Let me see, these guys in front of me are attempting it. Let's see how far they get. Well, now like 4 people are doing it, so, you know, join the crowd, right? Yeah, the exit's right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this exit. And I don't know what the holdup here is with the traffic, maybe an accident or something. But luckily, I got to my exit, and gonna go play at this casino. In recent times, this casino has not been great to me, but yeah, we'll see what happens. This is one of the casinos that I have to worry about buy-in amounts, so I will probably take some or most of my chips home and keep them for next time, because the less you buy in, the better here. There is a critical point here where they do picture, and they do a little check on you once you buy in for a certain amount of money. So want to keep the bets as low as possible till the count is big, and then we want to hammer them and hopefully not have to rebuy too many times and have our picture taken. But we do what we have to do. As long as there's no CTR, I'm not too concerned about it. So right now I am about 5 miles away from the next casino, and I'll go in there and I'll be back to update you. Alright guys, I am back. Just leaving here. Been here for almost 2 hours. Played some blackjack, played slots. Spent about an hour and 20 minutes or so on the blackjack table. And that was long, actually. It felt a lot longer than it was because the people were so clueless. Alright. Let's review all this stuff here that's going on. I think I'm going to go back to the casino I came from here. So let me just put this in the map here real quick. Man. Alright. So put that off. Okay. Walk in this place is actually pretty light when I got here. Now it's very crowded. Looks like there's a wedding or something about to happen here. But when I got here, I'm looking around. I see a machine with a possible play, but there's an older guy sitting there next to his wife who's playing the machine next to it. So I let that go, and I thought maybe I'd just come back and take a look at it. So I did that. I looked around. I found nothing. I came back to that one and eventually played that one. Did okay on that one. It was at 2 different levels. One was under $1 and one was at $3. And played that through, and then had one tiny play on another machine. And between those two, I ended ahead $134. Now, at that point, I went to the blackjack area, and they had a good rules, mostly good rules, $25 table. So I thought that would be good. So I go over there, sit down, and I play one shoe by myself. And then these 2 older guys come to the table, and I thought they looked like brothers. I was told that they're just friends, but they bought in for $1,000, and one of them just could not stop complaining. Now, granted, we weren't doing well, but this guy, every hand, oh geez, oh gosh, oh this, every single hand, and calling the dealer by his name, oh, whatever his name is, what did you do? I can't believe you did that, and all this stuff. Now, I didn't notice this until later, and now I'm looking at it, and I see there's an emergency around here too. I'll get back to that in a minute. So, I buy in for $300 on a $25 table, and then 3 more and 3 more. And, you know, for a long time, I was just sitting there doing nothing. And then eventually I got a couple good counts, and I got pummeled a few times. I mean, I wasn't spreading huge. I was going from one hand at 25 to one hand at 250 was the max that I went. I did do two hands here and there, only to appease the dealer. Oh, you keep losing, you should go to two hands. And I did that on some min bets and true ones. And just was not doing well with those guys, and the dealers are slow, and I decided to switch tables to the other table. I switch over there. I'm by myself the whole time. Things were not any better there either. And what's worse is I kept hitting the side bet. And all the dealer would talk about is, oh, you would have won $2,000 here, $3,000 there. I would have won about $10,000 according to the dealer. But that would have been playing two side bets at $50 a hand. That's only 200 hands. That's about what I played. So even with this amazing run I would have gone on, I would have just about broken even on the side bet. It's not a good bet. Just because you had two big things happen back to back doesn't mean all of a sudden this is a good bet. So I played for, like I said, about an hour and 20 minutes. And eventually, at 2,500 is when they start putting you in the system. I got to 2,400, and I was watching the pit boss, and she was looking at something on the screen. It looked like she was going to take a picture of me, but in the background, she was also looking at weather. And I guess now I'm really seeing it. This area's got a ton of flooding. There's a lot more rain coming the next few days, so that's what she was looking at. But I believe she did take a picture of me while I was sitting there. I don't know if anything's going to come of it or not. I doubt it. But there's not much I could do. I mean, and my top bets were always like my last money, and I would do that on purpose. When it's time for those big bets, I didn't have a lot of money in front of me. I might buy in for 100 and then put the whole thing out, or like I had 150, let's say, or 100 already. Might buy in for 100 more and put the whole thing out. But I never really had any money in front of me. And in the end, I ended up leaving down 2,400, and it was brutal. And they were clueless, and I could have gotten away with a lot, but there was just no opportunity. Counts were not good the whole time. Just never had a real opportunity to make any money. I did go cash out that voucher, and then I did go to the food area, and I got some drinks and stuff for the road. With my points, which at this place, it's like these people don't communicate. It's so amazing, but I wasn't on the radar anyway. So I ended up just leaving plus 134 on the slots, minus 2,400 on the blackjack. So I think what I'm going to do is head back to the casino I just came from before this casino and see if I can play some blackjack, try to get somewhere. I believe it's still going to have the same people there as when I left, so that makes me a little worried about it, but at the same time I can easily make the case for, I've been here the whole time or something like that. So who cares? It doesn't matter anyway. They want to kick me out, they can kick me out. I haven't given them a reason to at this point. I had all low counts at both casinos. So right now I'm going to head over there. It's the end of the workday. There is one person on my team that decided to quit while I was on vacation. And he, along with the lady who retired at the end of last year, are the only them two, and then the new girl and myself were in a group. So now I'm going to be taking on even more responsibility to take over a lot of his stuff. I did get a message from my director saying that we're going to be having a meeting next week to turn over a lot of the things that he was working on. So whatever, we'll do whatever we have to do. Really, that's about it. Right now, it's light rain, still not very good outside. A little bit of a breeze, 55 degrees, and sun will be setting soon. And I haven't made any real money today, so we'll see what happens with all that. Right now, I'm going to let you go, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back. I can't say there wasn't a lot of excitement, because there was. I played blackjack spreading from 50 to 500. That's all, 50 to 500. I played for about 90 minutes. First table, horrendous. Couldn't win hands. Flat betting most of the time. Second table, horrendous. Couldn't win hands. Was flat betting most of the time. Third table, horrendous. Same thing. I did get a couple top bets out there, but overall was just horrendous. They don't have resplit aces, and I had a big hand with aces, split them and got an ace and a 10, and the dealer got a 21, so lost money on that one. Split 8s to 4 hands on a big bet and doubled 2 of them and lost all those. Split 2s to 4 hands and doubled 2 of them and lost all 4 of them. So it was a rough session, and I was rebuying and rebuying and rebuying. They weren't even sure how much I was in, but I knew how much I was in. But that whole time was just a slow decline. I was involved for about $4,000, and I was down to my last 300 or so. Started building it back up, built it up to about 3,500. Finally started getting some big counts, and the bottom just fell out. And I finally ended up leaving at the end of a shoe down 6,500. So not good. Not good at all. Now, after that, I started walking around looking at slots again. There were no slots initially, but I found one. I sat down, started playing, bought it. I was in for a total of $500, and played that one for a while. Got up to like 650, down to like 330, and it finally hit. And when it hit, it paid out $2,700 on that before taxes, and ended up leaving with a profit of $2,045 on the slots. So big loss on the blackjack, okay profit on the slots, and we're okay. We're okay. I was pretty upset during that blackjack session, and I'm sure you understand. Just nothing was going well, no matter what I was doing. I was going from table to table. I reached negative high teens for a running count at really all 3 of the tables. The last one I couldn't leave because that's the only table that was left. All the other tables were full, and there's no mid-shoe entry, and I was still at this table, so I flat bet it, and got me through to the end of the shoe without losing any more money. But it had a running minus 15 with about 2 decks to go, and luckily I made it through that without, well, not luckily, I ended up losing at the end, but I made it through that shoe, and had some real big ups and downs, and it looked like I was going to come all the way back. And the way that the count was, the last couple shoes, man, just going straight up at the end there, I really thought that I was going to blow by my buy-in, and I was going to leave ahead 2,000 or 3,000. That's how much volatility there was at the end there. But what are we going to do? So, I mean, it's a terrible situation there. Losing 2 big ones back to back. That's about a month worth of losses for me generally on blackjack. So, but I'm going to take it one step at a time here. Man. Anyway, I'll cool off. Right now, I've been on the road for 12 and a half hours, and I'm still going to continue on. So, moving on to the next casino, and I'll be back to update you soon. All right, guys, I am back 16 hours into our little trip. Just leaving this casino, and it was pretty busy. They had some kind of giveaway going on. I don't know if I was eligible because my card was in or not, no clue, but slots casino. Walked in, and immediately when I walked in, I see the Chinese group that goes around this area standing around the machine, and I'm looking, I'm like, why aren't they sitting at this machine? Because it's in a good spot. I would sit down and I would play that. And I walk over there, and she's like, "Look, see," and she's showing me, and I'm like, "No, I understand. It just had a big line hit, but still, it's in a great position. It's a good play." And she's like, "No." I said, "Okay." So I sat down. It was $4 a spin, and I said thank you and all that. I sit down. I put $500 in, and I blow through that in about 3 or 4 minutes. Put another 500 in. That one lasts for about 10 minutes. Put a third $500 in, and that carries me through the whole thing. And when I'm done, I ended up cashing out like, I don't know what it was, like 1260 something. So I was down like 240 or something like that. But honestly, it dragged out way more than it should have. And I counted the spins, and it was way more than it should have. So it was somewhere around 898 spins or something like that it took at $4. So call it 900 times 4, 3,600 I ran through there. So, okay, I left that, started walking around, looking at other things, trying to find something worthwhile. And I find another one. It's in the high limit area. So it's a slot in the high limit. It's at $10 a spin. It's just barely outside positive EV, but there's a compensating factor that makes it positive EV. So I sit down, and I've got a voucher for 1278, and I'm playing that, and that voucher gets down to like $300 before it finally hits. It pays me $14.40, so I got another W2 there. And man, this weather is getting bad again. I'm going to post the storm from earlier today. It's just been so many storms lately. Then on my way out, there was a machine as I was heading to the high limit area that this young guy was playing with his dad. And I said, "Have you played this before?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to get this, and this is what you have to do to get it." And I'm like, okay, they understand what it is. They're 600 spins away from hitting it. They're going to hit it, so I might as well move on. After I finished that play in the high limit, I come back around, and they left that machine after about 200 spins. And I'm like, are you kidding me? This thing is in such prime position. There's 3 jackpots that it's going to hit, and they just left it. So, unfortunate. It was probably an EV of like $600, and they left it under $1 a spin. And then, so I'm sitting behind this lady, and I don't recognize her as being in this group. Asian lady, I sit behind her, runs out of money, and she's just sitting there. It looks like she's about to leave, but then this white guy comes over and tells me, oh no, she's not getting up. I guess she had put some money in there and had gotten stuck, and so she was waiting for someone. Now, I just pieced together that if you remember, 9 months ago or so, I was at a place, there was an Asian lady watching a machine, and the white guy told me that she was there before me. And I was suspicious that maybe they were working together. Well, he walked right up to her and talked to her, and then he told me, oh no, she's not getting up. So that means she's the same lady, I just didn't recognize her, and they are working together. So obviously, maybe, not obviously, but possibly I was scammed back then, so who knows. But I ended up leaving that place ahead $268, and we're going to continue on to another casino, and then we're going to have to wrap it up after that, hopefully. Well, we'll see how it goes, but after that, it'll be way after midnight by then, and I left home at 6 a.m., so that's a long day. So I'm going to let you go right now. We're moving on, and I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. It is a little bit after midnight, and just heading toward home. It's been a long day. I did stop at the next casino, and played a lot of games in there. In fact, I even took a risk on one that was a little bit high risk, high reward, and people have been avoiding it for weeks. I did give it a little run, and I ended up only down about $9 on that one, but Yeah, for the session, I was involved for a total of $400, cashed out 406, 407, something like that. 406, I believe. So plus $6. I talked to a guy in there who's an AP. He was kind of resting in the back area. Talked to him for a few minutes. We had a decent conversation. And it's kind of funny because a lot of these guys that you look at and think, yeah, this guy's just like a bum or a scumbag or whatever. These guys are very intelligent people. They got their math down. Don't over or underestimate people, just because they look a certain way. And I've never done that before. Yeah, definitely had a good conversation with that guy. And right now, the weather is so bad and the highway is so slippery, raining very hard, and just heading toward home. We can do our segments. What did you eat today, MW? Well, at the second casino I went to yesterday morning, I guess, I wanted to get a triple cheeseburger with no bun. And they informed me that they have a cheeseburger and a double cheeseburger, but they do not have a triple cheeseburger and cannot make one for me. So I asked them, can you make a double cheeseburger for me and a single cheeseburger? And they said yes. And I said, just make sure that you don't put a bun on those. And they said, no problem. And I said, would you mind putting those in the same box for me? They said, sure. And they put the single on top of the double. And somehow they found a way to make a triple for me. It's actually pretty cool how they did that. Very exciting. So I guess we figured out how to make a triple. And that was okay, not great. I would give that maybe a 9 on a scale of 2 through ace. Other than that, not really much. I had like a candy bar in the car. I had some beef jerky, but that's really all I had for the day. And what did you tip today, MW? Well, I had 2 big sessions of blackjack, 2 long sessions of blackjack, and a lot of hands involved there, hundreds and hundreds of hands. And I tipped a total of $0 for those. Now I did hit 2 jackpots today, one for $2,700, and I tipped $20 on that one, and one for $1,440, and I tipped $10 on that one. So what did I tip today? Total was about $30 on the 2 jackpots that I won. So yeah, so that's really about it right now. Tomorrow or today, I guess, we'll be with the family, and then Sunday night we'll be out trying to make some money again. Next week I'm on call, so it's going to be a long week, a busy week, and meeting with a lot of managers to discuss me taking over the job of the guy who is leaving. So I'll be doing at least 2 people's job temporarily, and maybe they'll give me a sticker or something like that, a pat on the back to pay me back for working twice as much. So I'm just hoping for something good like that, something worthwhile. But that's really about it. I'm gonna continue my trip home, try to stay safe, and I'll catch up with you on Sunday night. If you have any questions or comments, my email is mwusa21@gmail.com, mwusa21@gmail.com. See you next time.